coral reefs throughout the world are dying at a rate of about 3% per year. Write an equation that can be used to determine the future area of a reef that now has an area of 100 square kilometers. Let C be the area of the coral reef, T be years from now. So anytime I have a percent change problem, 3% per year, right away I know this is an exponential equation. Since it's yearly, and I'm going to use that first compound interest formula we had, F equals P times 1 plus R to the power T. And in this case, because these reefs are dying, my rate is negative. So this is important. My R here is a negative 3%. That's negative 3 out of 100. As a decimal, negative 0.03. I'm starting out with an area of 100, so that's my starting value here, P. So my future value, they want me to use a C instead of an F. So C equals 100 times, parentheses, 1 plus a negative would be a minus 0.03 to the power T. So this is 100% minus 3%. 100% minus 3% is 97%, so that should be 0.97 as a decimal. I'll double check that on a calculator. So this should be my formula right here, and I know this is exponential for the family here. Then we want to use the equation to determine how many years, so T equals what, until the area is 44. So for that one there, I'm going to have 44 equals that 100 times 0.97 to the power T, and I'm going to have to solve for T. First, let's double check the calculations we've made so far. Calculator. So double check 3%, that's 3 divided by 100, 0.03. Now, the reef is dying, so that's a negative rate, so I really want 1 minus that 0.03. And 100% minus 3% should be 97%, or 0.97 as a decimal, 97 hundredths. Yeah, so far, so good. Now we need to try and solve this equation. And like other exponential equations we solved, we get the thing furthest away from T. So the closest to T is its base 0.97. The furthest thing is the 100. We got to get rid of that times 100. To do that, we'll divide by 100. So we'll have 44 over 100 equals, on this side, 100 over 100 times that 0.97 T. A number divided by itself is 1. 1 times 0.97 T is just 0.97 T. 97 hundredths, that 97% we keep of the reef each year. And then 44 over 100, that works out nice. That's just 0.44. If that were like 44 over 97, I would leave it as 44 over 97. So avoid rounding to the end if you can. Once we've isolated the base to the power, we use logarithm. So now we have the log of 0.97 T equals the log of 0.44. And then here we have that property of logarithms that the T pops out. So that becomes T times the log of 0.97 equals the log of 0.44. To break multiplication, we divide. So we're going to divide both sides by that log of 0.97. And here I have a number divided by itself. A number divided by itself is 1. 1 times T is T. So I get T equals that fraction. The logs do not divide. They are not multiples. They are special calculator functions that calculate stuff. And the only thing to do is to type it as I see it. Nothing cancels there. And then we'll test to see if we get it right. So on my calculator, I want to know, find that log button wherever yours lives. 0.44 was on one side, divided by the log of 0.97. Make sure you have the right values in each one. And mine says the division of those two logs is about 27 years later. At 3% per year, we'll go from 100 square kilometers to 44 square kilometers. So we're going to test to see that's true. To test it, I go back to my original equation, which said starting with 100, we are losing 3%, which means we keep 97% raised to whatever power. In this case, I'm saying about 27 years goes by. So if I put 27 up there, I should get approximately 44 kilometers squared here. 43.9, that's about 44. If you want a more exact answer there, then type more decimals. So instead of 27, I could type 26.953, and I'll get closer to 44. This question said, round to the nearest year, in which case I'd say, yeah, it's going to be about 27 years later. We'll get about 44 square kilometers. So that does check out on my calculator. So 26.953 in my notebook, write down everything you do. So my T is approximately 27, and that would be years later. So 27 years later, we'll go from 100 square kilometers down to 44 square kilometers.